page, Z is integers. I did stress that. And so again, you have to ask if you don't know, but Z means integer. All right. And I said that there is moments in this course where you're going to see that. Okay, so ADAD, DAA, front page. Questions? Second page, AB, ADA.
Is what? B?
Yeah.
I
Okay. In a circle with a radius of 7 units. So you have a radius of 7 units. An arc length of 7 pi over 4. And theta. Okay, so I mentioned this during the test day. So I think there was 3 marks on this little equation here. So it is on the exam. I did write it on the board. So they're always going to give you 2 pieces of information out of 3. The key to this is that the angle itself has to be in radians. Okay? So it says find the angle first. So to find the angle, you go S divided by R, which is pi over 4. 7 pi over 4 divided by 7 is pi over 4. What's pi over 4 in degrees? 45. That's your answer.
I put B and U, circle B.
Okay, I'll check it after. Okay. Anything else on that page? Number 1. Answer's minus 250. Okay? Should have been an easy question. Work it backwards. So if it's 110 in the positive, it's a negative 250 on the backwards. Okay. Now, this is where we start getting into these things. And I can't stress this enough. So I can see there's a lack of focus in here already this morning. You need to follow what I am trying to point out to you. The difference between this and this, you have to identify that. The first one is asking for an angled measure. The second one is asking for a ratio. There is a clear difference between the way those two are written. One doesn't have the function, one has the function. You need to identify that. If it asks you for the sine of theta, the cos of theta, the cotan, or the 6 trig ratios, you need to put that down as a ratio. Okay? So it asks you for what is the cotan of theta given this coordinate. Now, if you were given a coordinate, draw a friggin' triangle. Draw a triangle every time. So, minus 4, minus 8. Minus 4 along the x. Minus 8 along the y. Theta. Tan of theta is opposite over adjacent. Cotan of theta is adjacent over opposite. The cotan of theta is 1/2. Questions? If you're given a coordinate, draw the triangle every time. Most times you'll be asked to find this. You'll be asked to find that radius. Okay? All right. Given the tan of theta is negative 3. Root 3. All right. First of all, ask yourself, what quadrant is tan negative in? 2 and 4. Well, it tells you the domain is 90 less than theta less than 180. What quadrant are we talking about? Quadrant 2. Okay. So it's somewhere in quadrant 2. All right. Now, here's the catch on this question. It wants you to find out what the sine of theta is. So is sine theta going to be positive or negative in quadrant 2? It's going to be positive. Now we have to find out which coordinate it is. This is the part that I kind of check and guess on. Okay? If it's this coordinate right here, that coordinate is 1/2 and √3/2. Okay? So I'm going to check that coordinate first. So then what I do, I take tan. I need to find out what the tan of theta is. I take √3/2, which is the sine, over -1/2, which is equal to √3/2 times -2/1. Those cancel. That leaves me with -√3. This is the coordinate I'm talking about. What's the sine value of that coordinate? There's your answer. The alternative would have been, if it wasn't that coordinate, I would have checked this one right here, which is √3/2 negative and 1/2. I would have checked it. And one of them would have given me the right tan answer. Okay? So I can either remember that the pi over 3, the 60 degrees, tan is going to be equal to √3. And on the 30 degrees, tan is going to be equal to 1 over √3. Or I can just use the coordinates. Okay? Number 5, pi over 2 is the answer. Number 6, you had to sketch 7 pi over 6. Easy enough. 7, -11.1 radians. That's in quadrant 1. 8 was a give me question. 5 pi over 8 plus 2k pi, where k is an integer. That's all you had to do. Number 9 was 3.9. Okay, problem 1. This is, okay. I'm going to pretend to not be frustrated. I'm not very good. Terrible actor. You have to draw the triangle. It just makes life easier. Okay? Again, I mentioned this. This will be on the exam, which means it's going to be on the test. Okay? Question 1 problem. Question 6 problem. Exact same questions. So I do this. -4, -3. What does that make the radius? Pardon me? Which is? 5. Okay. Now this will be in the non-calculator section, which means that the likelihood is it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. It's a 6, 8, 10 triangle. And then there's a couple others that give you whole numbers. All right. There's like a 41. I can't remember what it's 41, 43, 45 or something. I can't remember. Anyways. So now 6 trig ratios. All right. Look at the board right now. Don't look at your sheet. What's the sine of theta? What's the cos of theta? What's the tan of theta? What's the cosecant of theta? 5 over -3. What's the secant of theta? 5 over -4. What is the cotan of theta? There's your answers. There's your answers. Just by drawing that triangle, I should have had 4 easy marks for that. That's such an easy question for you to do, but I don't know where, again, I don't know where the misfire is. Draw the triangle and then just do sine, cosine, tan. So once I have sine, cosine, tan, so sine theta, -3/5, cos theta, -4/5, tan theta, -3/4, right? -4. Okay? Cosecant, flip it. Secant, flip it. Cotan, flip it. That's all there is to it. Questions about that? Again, 100% absolutely going to see this on the exam. Okay? The only thing that they may do is if they don't make it a 3, 4, if they don't make it whole numbers, that'll be a rooted value. So you just leave it as a square root value. I think 6 is that. Yes, 6 was that. Okay? All right. Number 2 is 76 pi over 9 meters. You have to convert 80 degrees to radians. All right. Number 3. This is 4.3. You're going to do this again in chapter 5. And it's going to be a lot more complicated than what this is. So we have to get it. All right. We knew this was coming, yet we still didn't do a good enough job of this. Very few of you got this one right. Okay. What's the first thing I need to do here? Factor. Okay. Cosecant theta, right? What is it? Plus 4, subtract 1. Does that look right? Yes? Okay, so I get cosecant theta is equal to -4. Cosecant theta is equal to 1. Good so far. That means that sine theta is equal to what? Come again? Right. Very good. And sine theta here is equal to 1. Where does sine theta equal 1? What is it? Yeah? Radians. Okay, so there's your first answer. Madison, what's wrong with that?
Why do we have to find out the theta?
The question asks you to solve the equation. So solving the equation means you either solve for your whatever your unknowns are. So x is, if I had to put x in here, would you have got it? Would you have known to solve for x?
Yeah.
Okay, theta and x are the same thing. It's just we use theta because we're working with angles. You follow what I'm saying? Okay, so right here, there's my unknown, pi over 2. Okay. Now, right here, is that on the unit circle? No. So what do I do to solve for? So now, again, this is a grade 10 skill. I have the sine theta of -1/4. All right? Find the reference angle first. Use your calculator. Second function, sine of 0.25. You don't have to do it right now. It works out to 0.253. What's the next question you ask yourself? Where's sine negative? What 2 quadrants is sine negative in? 3 and 4. So if I know my reference angle, how do I find it in quadrant 3? Pardon me? Not 180. No. Add pi. Add pi. Okay? Which is 3.3943 radians. How do I find it in quadrant 4 if I know my reference angle? Subtract from 2 pi. Well said. 6.031. Okay? Exam question. First 5 questions on the exam. One of them is going to be that, a trig equation, in which you have to convert it. You're going to have to find it using your calculator. It's one of the 5 questions that a calculator is needed for. You may not. You may also have it in the non-calculator section. You may also have it in the non-calculator section. And it'll be only unit circle values. Okay? But this for sure is on your exam. That we have to be able to do. Questions? Are we getting the stressors now? We understand the importance of this question. I feel like I got a few walls put up here. I need you to see something else right now. What does 19 pi over 6 represent? Come on, let's wake up here. What does 19 pi over 6 represent? A ratio or an angle? What is it? No. It's an angle. Look where I started the day today. Theta equals. That's an angle. Sine theta equals. That's a ratio. Sine of anything, if it's in brackets here, is an angle. So, I'm stating that because what is secant as a reciprocal function? It is 1 over the cos of 19 pi over 6. Watch the board. It's not 1 over 19 over 6. It's 1 over the cos of 19 pi over 6. So to solve that question, and I love this question being asked right there. To solve it, you find out what cos of 19 pi over 6 is, and you divide it into 1. I do not flip this. The angle does not ever flip. The ratio is a reciprocal because of secant. So you would find out what the cos of 19 pi over 6 is, and then you would take 1 divided by it. I wasn't asking for an answer. What I was asking for is the process. Number 5. What quadrant are they working in? Quadrant 4. Again, triangle is your friend. The cos value of this is root 5 over 4. I think this is the easiest way to do this question. Reese did it by going root 5 over 4 squared plus y squared equals 1 squared. That's okay. The problem is you got to make sure you know your signs. All right? But doing it this way, 16 subtract 5, this is root 11. Using Pythagoras' theorem. What is the sine of theta here? Yes.
The negative for the root 5. Why is that the x?
Why is that the x?
Yeah. Because isn't it the cos value?
Right.
Root 5 over 4 is
So that's your adjacent value. It's cos. You answer your question? Okay. All right. What is the sign now? What does y equal? There's your answer. Again, triangle. It's just simple right angle trig with Pythagoras' theorem. That's all there is to it. And again, same thing on the last question. All right. So I've got 25 and 49, which is 74. That means this is the square root of 74. Square root of 74. Okay. What's the sine of theta? 7 over root 74. What's the cos of theta? Negative 5 over root 74. What is the tan of theta? 7 over negative 5. Cosecant? Root 74 over 7. Secant? And cotan. Good job. Okay. Ask for theta. So using your calculator, that theta worked out to 54 degrees. And then they asked for this angle right here, 126 degrees. All right. What is it? Where do we go wrong? This was our weakest test by far as a group collectively. Where did we go wrong?
I just don't get the questions. Like, they ask them in such a dumb way.
Okay, well, all right. Unfortunately, those are the ways they're going to ask the questions on the exam. They're going to ask them the same way. So what we have to do is we have to identify the things that we need to know. Okay, so you're looking through those problems. I'll just do a test. So you're looking through those problems. This is the thing that I need you to understand. Maybe write this down. If they're asking you for an exact value, they are asking you for ratios. An exact value identifies the question as you're looking for a ratio. Maybe it's on the unit circle, which would mean it's either the x or the y coordinate. Or you're drawing a triangle and you're finding the sine, the cos, and the tan. That. You're asked for an angle. If they want to know what sine theta, cos theta, tan theta is, they're looking for a ratio again. Okay? Where else on the test did you not understand the question? Go through it, everybody, not just Madison, everybody, go through it. Tell me where you didn't understand the question, and let's see if we can identify the key words as to why we didn't. Yeah,
I didn't get problem 2.
is that the Ferris wheel one? Okay,
I don't understand when I have to do radians and when I have to do angles. It makes
degrees?
sense in like a, yeah, degree. It makes sense in like a short answer question because it's just one thing.
Okay.
But when they ask me so many things.
So again, we did this, and this is part of the problem, is we didn't maybe look at we didn't see any of these questions until we got towards the end of this. So we did this last year in grade 11, but we maybe didn't do enough of it this year so far. So let's look at it right now. Here's your angle. That's called your central angle. Okay? Follow? All right. This is your radius. Distance from 0, 0 to the edge of the circle. Good so far? This right here is the measure of the arc length. That's your S. Okay, so what that is a portion of the circumference of the circle. The circumference of the circle is the distance around the circle, right? Okay, so the arc length is just a portion of that. So it's based on the radius from here to here, and it's based on the size of the angle. That's what it's based on. So the arc length. All right, but this only works if this is in radians. We cannot work the arc length equation if it's in degrees. Okay? They use a word subtends. All they're saying is that that is a portion of the circle itself. That's what subtends means. Okay, somebody asked me that the other day. All right. So what's the first part? I don't have the sheet. I just put it away. What's the first part of the question say?
It says the Ferris wheel has a diameter of 38.
Okay, so a diameter of 38 meters means it has a radius of 19 meters. Good. Now what?
Through what distance does a chair on the wheel travel when the wheel rotates 80 degrees?
So that means then that my angle is 80 degrees. So I need to change that into radians. Okay, so what does that work out to? It's 4/9, I think, isn't it? 4 pi over 9, is that correct? Yes? Help me out here. 8 over 18. So divided by 2, yeah, 4 pi over 9. So now I need S. How do I get S? This times this. What's 19 times 4? Close. 76. The answer to the question is that. You don't have to do anything with it once you got that. Okay. Again, go back to there. What other question did you not know what was asking?
I didn't get question 8 too. Like that Ferris wheel, determine the measures of all angles that are coterminal with an angle of 5 over 8 pi.
That angle right there is pi over 6, correct? Let's say. All right, let's say. All right, and I'm not asking you if that's right. I'm making it up. That angle is theta is pi over 6, Madison. What's the next angle that's coterminal with it? Coterminal means in the exact same position. Let's do this different. So the math is simpler, and then we'll go from there. That angle is 30 degrees. What's the next angle that's coterminal with it? 390. How did you get that? So if it's in radians, what are you going to add to it to get back to there? So the correct answer for, what was it, 5 pi over 8? The correct answer is just this. Add 2k pi. Two pi takes you back to there every single time, whether you add or subtract it. That's your answer for that question. You follow? Okay, coterminal means back to the exact same position. So all you had to do is add 2k pi.
When it's written like 5 over 8 and 5 is decided, is that just mean that's?
So the same thing. Okay, anything else you did not understand on that? Okay. Put it away. Let's done. We'll have to come back to it later. Let's go to 5.4. Now, 5.4. Have a look right here. This right here. We are going to work on this in 5.4 as well. It's going to be a little more complicated. So this is why I'm stressing you need to know this. Sine x equals a half. I did this yesterday, did I not? I did. Did you guys go through any of this yesterday?
We did it at like 11, 12.
Sorry?
We had like 8 minutes left.
Okay, finish it up today. Chapter review will be done tomorrow. Tomorrow's what? Thursday? Friday's an assignment. Monday we'll clean it up. Tuesday we'll test on it. You got the weekend. What's that? That's the assignment? Well, I'm not, whatever. You get a copy of it and I'll send it to you if I have to. Okay. Any other questions here from yesterday's work now?